Take Control ebook series are media sponsors of MacVoices TV. Visit them at takecontrolbooks.com. Welcome to MacVoices TV. I'm Chuck Joyner, and I'm still at BlogWorld in Las Vegas. And this time we're going to talk to our friend Omaha Sternberg of iGame Radio. Omaha, it's good to see you as always.
It's great to see you too, Chuck. I've been really having a great time at this convention.
Yeah, this has been a blast, and this is becoming a regular thing. We go to San Francisco, we see each other. We come to Las Vegas, we see each other. What's next?
Oh, I don't know. We're going to have secret, what are they called?
Rendezvous.
Rendezvous. I keep on wanting to say envays. Yeah. Rendezvous all over across the country.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not a gamer, so it's not going to be at the gaming conventions, but you go to a lot of those.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of conventions out there. There's GDC, there's E3, there's PAX, there's South by Southwest, a lot of places to go to.
In talking to you and Peter Cohen, I've learned so much about the gaming world, even though I'm not part of it. I don't think I realized just how broad it is and how many different facets there are to it, and really how important it is to the technology industry.
Well, one of the aspects about the gaming industry as far as its connection to the technology industry is it really pushes the technology industry to create new technology. A lot of games are trying to push the envelope as far as what new kinds of technology that the industry can use and can exploit as far as graphics, as far as the physics engines are concerned, as far as AI is concerned. Those are the really big ones that the games try to push. They want to see better graphics. They want to see physics that are awe-inspiring. They want to see AI that really mimics real life. And so the technology industry has to respond in order to be able to get those kinds of design ideas out there onto the screen.
Do you think we've seen that with the iPad and the iPhone, with the motion sensors, the GPS, all of those things, the compass all built into it, and some new interfaces evolving for games, at least handheld games that maybe we didn't see before? Is that the kind of pushing the envelope you're talking about?
Well, I think it's sort of a back and forth when it comes to the iPhone and the iPad, because one of the things that I've noticed is that, of course, the iPhone came out, and a lot of people, the first thought that came to their mind was, oh, wow, this would be a great interface for games. But one of the things that you were seeing was a lot of casual games, a lot of puzzle games, etc. And many people who, the gamers or the game developers that push the envelope are the ones who create things like first-person shooters and sports games, etc. They're the ones who really push that envelope, and they were rather loath to get onto this platform because they were thinking to themselves, well, this is a platform for casual games. But you had companies like Epic, for example, that was on the stage with Steve Jobs back September 1st, who said, well, no, this is going to be a great place for us to be able to show off what we really can do with games. And they showed off Epic Citadel, which was really a tool for being able to show what you can really do with a touch screen interface. And it was gorgeous. It was absolutely fabulous. And they're going to be having a game coming out that's right now nicknamed Project Sword. But the fact of the matter is that you can have on an iPad and an iPhone a first-person shooter. You can have a horror game that is that really pushes the envelope. You can have sports games and other kinds of racing games. And the technology behind the iPad and the iPhone allows that kind of envelope pushing to happen because Steve Jobs keeps on moving that technology forward, and game developers have finally caught up to the notion that, yes, they can put it on there. It's not just for people who are playing puzzle games. So I think we're going to see more and more of those games coming out, and they're not just going to be dumbed-down versions of the games that you see on your desktop or on the console. They're going to be actual, real, full versions of these kinds of games.
It's interesting to hear you talk about Steve Jobs and Apple being the ones to do some of this, or a lot of this maybe, because Apple has traditionally not been thought of as a leader in the gaming industry, or even a gaming company for that matter.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, for a long, long time, a lot of people, including myself, really felt that Steve Jobs hated games. we saw Steve Jobs up on the stage, and he loved music, and the idea that he would even say something positive about games would be a surprise. So the very idea that he would come up this year and actually call the iPod Touch the number one gaming device was just astounding. I had to do a double take when I heard and saw him say that because I couldn't believe it. I think that Apple has really caught up to the notion that, yes, the Mac, the iPad, the iPhone can be gaming devices. I think that there's a lot more work involved before you can really compete with, for example, the Windows PC environment as far as the Mac is concerned. But there's no question that for the iPad and the iPhone/iPod Touch especially, they are gaming devices. And when you take a look at the App Store, the largest category of app on the App Store are games. So that says it all.
Yeah, and that's always a constant surprise to me. So just to be clear, you don't think that Steve's comments were part of the legendary reality distortion field? Do you think they are legitimate?
Oh, there's no question they're part of the legendary reality distortion field. There's nothing that Steve Jobs does that isn't reality distortion. Because, for example, I posted a post on my blog after he made that comment where I showed that his statement that the iPod Touch was outselling both Nintendo and Sony's mobile devices combined was rather exaggerated. But the fact of the matter is there's no question that the iPod Touch has become a gaming device, a mobile gaming device of its own. And that it is a device that people look at and say, I want to get that in order to be able to game on it, as well as use it for many other different things. But it is one of those primary things. Gaming is one of the primary concepts of it. And I think that Apple and Steve do indeed believe that gaming is its primary, or at least one of its primary purposes. And there's no question they brought Epic up for that purpose, to be able to show that.
Omaha, since we are in Las Vegas and we are at BlogWorld, I have to ask you, what do you think of the show this year? Is it something you plan to come back to?
Well, I mentioned that I was having a lot of fun here, but I have to say that I'm of two minds with regards to BlogWorld. The fun I've been having is that I've come here and I'm able to see all of my friends in the podcast community, and it's a great opportunity to be able to get together with them because so many of them are scattered all across the country, and I don't get a chance to see them on a regular basis very often. So this is an opportunity to be able to spend some time with community and share insights and share ideas and share jokes. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to see Allison singing. That would have been fabulous. But
no, that was not unfortunate, Omaha.
Well, she was singing Carpenter's songs, so yes, I'm glad I missed that. But anyway, I'm not very happy about the sessions. I've been to a number of different sessions. Yesterday especially, I went to several sessions during each hour. There was a couple of different hours where I was going to a couple of different sessions and was in and out to check out and see how each of the sessions were like. And there was only a few sessions that I felt not only was I getting anything from it, but I felt that they were really trying to encompass the concepts of what it means to be a blogger and a podcaster. And so much of it was hammering the concept home of, let's see how much money we can get out of the people that we're sending our information to. And it was all about the money. And yes, monetization is an important factor about blogging and or podcasting, but it shouldn't be so overwhelming and all-encompassing that it is the only message that seems to come across. And that's what it felt like in so many of these different sessions. I really enjoyed, and to give a different perspective, I went to Dave Hamilton and Jeannie McDonald's session on how to be able to start and maintain a relationship with a sponsor. And despite the fact that that was about monetization, it really wasn't a see how much money you can grab from them kind of session. It was very much a, here are the facts about the situation. Here's how you have that relationship. Here's how you maintain that relationship. Here are the do's and don'ts. And that's the kind of session I really appreciate and enjoy. That's where I get huge amounts of information. I took copious notes in that session. And that's what I was really hoping to get. And there weren't a lot of sessions that were like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, as a disclaimer, of course, Dave and Jean are both friends of ours, and but the session was terrific because it was hard information. It really walked you through things. So I think, unfortunately, though, in some of the people we've met here that are not necessarily Mac people, and that's not me being prejudicial by any means, there's a huge focus on monetization because a lot of these people are trying to do it for a living. You're trying to do it for part of a living. It's not quite a living for me, but it's, you still would like to get something out of it. So it is a hot topic, and, maybe that's natural. It does seem like there's a bit less of a how-to this year.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, if you go into the if you go into the BlogWorld Expo floor, one of the things that you notice is that a lot of the booths that are out there are more about, again, monetization. They're more about agencies, less about trying to help you learn how to do this thing on your own. And as far as podcasters are concerned, there's no hardware, there's no software vendors out there at all. I was actually very surprised about that. And it was actually rather disappointing because 3 years ago, probably the first podcast and new media expo that I went to, that's where I got my first a mobile recorder at, and I still use it today.
Yeah, I don't know if that means that the industry or this industry has matured from the podcasting area, or whether that's just not a focus, or whether vendors are just trying to hold the money back right now and cut expenses. But that it does seem to be one thing that's missing here. But I'm with you. The people, the personal connections you make are invaluable and fun both. So it's well worth the money and the time, I think, if you're in the community. If you're not, if you want to get in the community, then you need to take a good hard look at what is being offered next year. And, tell the folks at BlogWorld what you want, what you're looking for. I know every conference promoter I've ever met keeps saying, we want to deliver what you want. You got to tell us what you want.
Yeah, and every session has a survey that you can fill out, and I've been filling out surveys at every session saying, this is what worked for me, this is what didn't work for me, this is some of the recommendations I would have for you. So yeah, I've been trying to give feedback as much as possible.
Omaha, I know you're scheduled back on the Mac Jury and back on MacVoices for a couple things we have planned, so it's great to see you in person. We will see you audibly, and I guess maybe on the small screen too.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks very much, Chuck.
I'm Chuck Joyner. As we said, you can kind of tell. We're at BlogWorld in Las Vegas. We wish you were here with us. Until the next time, thanks for watching.
MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.